Good morning, everyone. It is quite a pleasure to be with you all here on this lovely rock spinning through space. Got some pretty places out there. I hope this finds you well. I hope your weekend was well. And I just want to take a shout out to all the Facebook people and all you guys. Frank, thanks for your comments, my friend. It's all done in love here. We know people are bent out of shape. You know, it's tough sometimes, and especially when we maybe drop the ball with something, and I don't know, it's tough here. Healing crisis can be scary, that's for sure. And that's important to understand, is that these healing crises can be scary and sometimes very painful too. Healing crises in the lungs, I hate those, because you get short of breath a little bit while the mucus is coming out like crazy and you're coughing at just copious amounts of this mucus and stuff. And it gets just what we put in there, we have to get out of there. So anytime you eat something, you want to know what effect is this going to have on me, and am I willing to pay that price? Some things, no big deal, a little chocolate here, a little chocolate there, a piece of dead animal there, piece of dead animal there, here. But you must also walk with a high degree of raw and a high degree of fruits, berries, and melons if you want to really feel really well. Before then, though, you should dig in deep and clean out that body of yours and get it cleaned up, because it's your car while you're here on this lovely planet called Earth. I hope that some of you are getting together, finding some love out there, and it is always nice to find someone with like thinking. It's just such a beautiful experience. So I hope you singles out there can find some good love between the YouTubers and stuff like that, because there's nothing like having someone to share your experience with like that, especially of a mate type that can bring you succor and happiness. I think one always has to live in the present moment in relationships and everything else too, and that way we don't lay a heavy burden on someone if they do have to leave. Sometimes a soul has to just go another journey. And we have to be willing to say, oh, well, you know what, it was fun being with you and spending time with you while you were here. Thank you. But we rip and we tear because of our adrenals. We're so emotionally weak that sometimes we cling to things. And you don't want to cling to other people. You want to cling to anything, cling to the Creator, even if you're just using an image that you think it to be. Because when you think of something like God or the Creator, you're thinking of something without limitation. When you have desires and wants in creation, everything is limitation. Everything is an individual expression, where consciousness is all. And it's hard to understand that you guys all come from the all into the individualized self, and therefore into the separateness of, or the apparentness of separateness. And it only appears that way at this level. As you get more into the all, you'll see while this fades, the individuality fades into the oneness. That's why those souls that have a greater awareness see things as one. They see everyone coming from the same source, wearing individual clothing, of course. And that's the fun of it. So thank you, Frank, for your comments there, bud. We all love you, and we all love all of you. And it's a trip, to run a clinic like this. And you guys are seeing that in your own worlds, where working with others can be a real trip on all levels, And so I'm hoping that these videos will help in some way those that are struggling and make you stronger, because it's all about you. And anything that makes you stronger is good, And that's the whole idea, is getting your joy back, getting your strength back, getting yourself back. And if you've never had that, then it ought to be quite a journey for you. So let's cover some of these while I have some time. I only have like half hour here, unfortunately, but I thought I would cover some of these. This is from Lewis. Why do I get pain in my pancreas area when eating watermelon or red grapes? Then all of a sudden after I get boosts of energy? Well, that's a good question. It does lend itself to inflammation, or what we call acidosis. And so, absolutely, if you notice watermelon, red is one of the aggressive colors of nature. And when you see fruit that's red, it's aggressive. no question. Even the red grapes are very, very aggressive, and watermelon. I've seen people in pain eat watermelon and their pain goes up. It's just aggressive food. There's no question about it. One of my favorite, but still very aggressive. I know when I have dental work and I'm sucking on a lot of watermelon, the pain can actually go up. And it's just the powerfulness of it, the powerful of the astringents. It's just a powerful food. And it's all about lymph. Whenever you feel pain, know that that's acidosis. We can use the word inflammation, but I don't know where the medical doctors are in their terminologies in today's world. Can we let you use the word inflammation? But anyway, that's their word. Acidosis is our word because that's what's causing the pain. So whenever you see pain, you know immediately which system is involved. Is it my blood causing me pain, or is it the lymph? I mean, the causative factor. It's the nervous system that's telling you, but what's the causative factor? And you're always going to go back to the acid side of chemistry. Base chemistry, maybe if you're way up in the alkalis, up in the 14s, the 13 pHs, the 12 pHs possible. But for most argument's sake, we're still at the acid side of chemistry, and that's what creates that inflammation. That's what causes the pain, because they're so corrosive in nature. And so that's how we feel that. And of course the nervous system echoes that to you, so you know. You can have acidosis in areas where it's not touching a nerve and you won't know it. You won't have any clue you have a problem. The same with developing tumors inside of you or cysts. You can have tumors or cysts and not even know it if there's no associated nerve impact. So it's just something to think about, But that shows, Lewis, that you have problems in your pancreas. But it's just part of the branch of the tree. Remember, the tree is the GI tract. So you want to get in there and clean up that GI tract and pull on that pancreas. Most of the liver herbs are great for the pancreas. Can't say that so about a lot of the pancreatic herbs. A lot of the pancreatic herbs are really blood sugar controlling herbs. So I've kind of got two formulas coming out now. I put it all together in one pancreatic formula to try to have a balance, and I decided I would make a little stronger of a pancreatic formula and then a separate blood sugar controlling formula. And so we'll see how they work when they get in. They should be in another 3 or 4 weeks. Don't even want to go there. Nightmare from hell. It's one thing to make or formulate beautiful formulas and everything. It's another to get them manufactured without all the hullabaloo, and you need lots of money. That's where people don't understand the money involved in getting formulas and manufacturing. So we pay premium prices so we don't have to put up a lot of money in front. Some companies buy a year's worth of herbs at one time because the way the FDA has them check them and everything else, it's just so costly. And it's just insane, issue there. This is Alan. Hi, Jennifer. I was emailing Cindy. I was just reading something. Let's see. I ate grapes only through yesterday, day 10. I still have quite a bit of stool relative to quality of food, I'd say. And you'll see that a lot of stool can come out of you for days after a fast and stuff. There's a lot of toxemia that's pulled, I think, into the bowels along with food matter and stuff and echoed right out that tube. So I see people get a lot more stool than you realize. And when you start cleaning the bowels, sometimes you see a lot more stool than you ever thought you could hold. Interesting. But you've got about, say, about 27 foot of GI tract, 22 foot small, 5 to 6 large. And so you'll see that can be very impactful. Some people are probably backed up all the way through. Let me see here. I just know I am not eating enough, and I'm quite bedridden and nobody to help me generally. I read last night about Dr. Jensen having people nurture him back to health. Unfortunately, I am not so lucky, and I fear this could be very significant. I am very emaciated at this point. Let me see here, Alan. I think Jennifer's going to handle this. I'll get this. I don't know why I have this, but we have a place for you to stay if you would like. A beautiful place. Unfortunately, she finds grapes this big. I don't know where this lady finds there's food for people, but she is incredible. Mark, good morning, and Tasha, good morning to you, my dear ones. I love you guys. To start on a bittersweet note, I have been through all of your YouTube vids. This time I intend to take some notes. Well, I'm trying to make this simple, of course, and we keep going over these issues. And I think after a while it clicks, and settles in. And it's just that we've been so brainwashed and so much propaganda out there that just isn't true, that sifting through this stuff is a nightmare. Then, of course, it hasn't helped the public's view of natural health, and it's not intended to. The medical doctors would love to suppress this and distort this. Maybe not so many medical doctors as the AMA itself and as the FDA itself. These guys are the king of distortion rackets. These are the king of illusion rackets. These are the guys that need to be taken care of, because most medical doctors are only trained a certain way and real strongly against us without understanding. And I think that this goes to the educational systems, this goes to the FDA and the pharmaceutical companies, and that level, of slander and stuff has just got to stop. It's one thing to say, and it's like the Walgreens, where they show you some lady not feeling good and trying to juice her greens and everything, and it makes a mess of it and says, why don't you just come in, we got pills for you, basically, we got pharmaceuticals for you, don't mess with the juicing or anything. That never works, basically what the ad showed. And I thought this was really low. We need to develop an ethical morality, if you will, in our society that says, okay, we have this product, it does this, this, and this, and this. No, nothing about other people's products. Your product, what does it do? What's the side effect of it? What can it do to you both harmfully and beneficially? And let people weigh that out. But no, we have a major move to destroy the herbs. And remember, already the FDA has pulled probably 10 of the top cancer-curing herbs out there. And I'm going to use cancer-curing in that many individuals use it for their cancers and find remedy. We don't treat cancers, of course, do we? No, because that's an illusion. We understand damaged cells. We understand acidosis. We understand what their idea of cancer is. But to be more factual, we prefer that side of it. And we like to be more factual about things here. Let me see, I was hoping you could speak a bit about what we are and are not allowed to say or claim when we are talking to others about health and healing. Oh, okay. I am from Canada, so it might very well be different. Might be, but I find generally running through similar lines, to be honest with you, in that way. I don't know where you guys are at the codex in the court system there. I heard you had that in there fighting that. Good for Canadians. Stand up for your rights. We Americans are just too apathetic right now. We don't understand the need for them right now, except for all of you beautiful people in America that understand health, wellness, and healing. I should avoid overstepping. To my understanding, we shouldn't be diagnosing, but instead suggesting. But what if they come to you already diagnosed with a condition such as cancer? How would you go about expressing to them that you are going to help get them healthy without getting in trouble from the doctors or drug companies? This is a good question, and we dedicate a whole morning in our school basically to this. Also, I see a lot of articles online claiming that an herb is good for curing cancer, for example, and since I enjoy writing articles, I would also like to know what I not to cut. Oh, love you guys. Listen, the world of this, unfortunately, at least the way in courts that I think that this is set up, because it's hard to find truth. It really is. You certainly can't go to a judge and get it, especially a federal judge in this country. I mean, there's some good federal judges, and I don't mean to knock them, but there's some really crooked ones. And I don't care what an agenda is that a government has, your judicial system should stand on the top of truth, honesty, and fairness. Always. Always. Because that directly affects the folk and directly in time creates a cultural move toward hate and revolutions or love and peace and joy. Politicians are going to do whatever they can to get reelected, but it is the law enforcement. It is the law side that's important. And even to the congressional making of statutes. If they're unconstitutional, they need to be dubbed so. So this is a problem there. I'll say this, the word diseases is something you need to avoid because it just is not your world. It is their world. It is a world of darkness. It is a world of decay. It is a world of ignorance. It is a world of stupidity. It's a world of propaganda. It's a world of crime. It's a world of everything. You've got every criminal aspect in the medical profession you could name. Violation of First Amendment rights in this country. You've got conspiracy. You've got racketeering. You've got extortion. You've got a list a mile long. And you guys don't want to be involved in that. We're the love people. And so diseases is what you want to avoid because people think cancer, what a strange name to dub a cell that's been mutated. What a strange name for that process. You see what I'm saying? And we know better. It would be better that you say, well, we don't get in the world of diseases since we consider them illusionary. And you explain to the individual what is the cause of their pain. And if you explain it like we're explaining it on YouTube, it's very simplistic and on point. And I think the best thing, Mark, is just, and I said this before, take off in the woods, get on the beach, find some way and keep working what you know in terms of diseases and the fallacy and the illusion of that, and what you know about truth and health and awareness, and develop the ability to articulate, meaning the ability to converse with what you know, and to bring this out verbally. Because I've said this before, the mind is so much bigger than this physical world, so much bigger than any brain. The mind is huge when you're looking at it in terms of creation, and the role that and the area that the mind takes up in creation is immense. The most immense part of creation is not this level. It is the mental level. And Paul Twitchell talks a lot about it. Some of the other spiritual people, excuse me, like in the yoga systems and stuff, do speak about it. Huge heavens, huge, it's just huge. It's just this world multiplied 1 billion times. And that's this creation here. When we say this world, the physical world is on a loop. And it's important to understand why the loop. Because you have the polarization of the two sides. And the positive side must have a little bit of an edge. This is why you see that here, that the air and the foods grown properly picked right has an edge toward the base side, the alkaline side. But it keeps it in this loop, and all life moves within this magnetic loop. But these worlds are endless in terms of creation, and at the same time you can wipe them away and they have no existence whatsoever because they're not real. They appear real. And when you're in a place, it appears real. If I take you out and put you in a more real place, and this is for you that have real lucid dreams, and a lot of you are going to start finding more lucid dreaming, actually more true awareness outside the body. Your dreams are going to become more real. And you're going to feel it's more real than going back to my physical body. And that's what you're going to find. When you start getting out of this physical world, the worlds are more real. And the closer to God you get, the more reality hits you and the broader your ability to see and know things are. And so it's well worth the journey for that. But not to get off on the subject since my time is limited, and I'm bad about that, but I've gone over all these things so much here. But one must be very careful. And if someone says, well, I have cancer, I say, well, we see that a little differently. We understand that the body has a sewer system to it that you're not taught about. This is suppressed or not brought up and not understood by the allopathy. And therefore, this sewer system is how the sewage from the cells, and you can talk about the two avenues of elimination. You have two types of elimination, obviously. You have urine and you have stool. Well, what's the difference between the two, and which elimination factors are they involved in? Well, it's obvious the stool, undigested matter, things not absorbed, obviously, all the stuff that goes down the pike. It's a big tube. Right? And so you have that, But then what about the urine? What is the urine? Just excess water and a few chemical byproducts and stuff? Heck no. It is a major sewer system. It is, notice you have 2 kidneys and then you have a skin, the largest organ you have. So, and I'll say the largest eliminative organ you have. So, real important to understand that you have cellular waste to get rid of. And I think it's easy to explain to people that every cell is like a person. Every little cell requires food and eliminates waste. And you can look at this like if you're a cell in someone's liver, you just can't get up and go to the bathroom when you have to go, right? A cell has to go to the bathroom. And a little cell, it gets hungry. It's got to eat. And so how does the cell eat? And then how does the cell eliminate its waste? Does the cell just get up and go to the bloodstream and lick out what it needs? No. It's serviced on site. That's where we get interstitial fluids. Fluids that flow around the cells. Important, and that's all that's there are the fluids that flow around the cells, which is blood and lymph, and the cells themselves. That's it. Unless you got some shrapnel or lead or something else, a splinter or something else that's put in there. That's all you got. So that's what you have to do, is you have to explain. And that's the process. And unfortunately, that's our job, is we have to get rid of the illusion cast by those that are unaware and cast the truth. So people have a chance. And truth is always understandable by everybody, and truth is always simplistic. The intellectual side of life is creation, and that's what loses you. Things already are. It's as simple as it is. Living in the present moment is as simple as it gets. No thought, no desire. And you think, well, what kind of person would that make? But in that process, you become more of what you really are and less of what you're not. And it's hard to explain that to people until you start wearing the robe, getting on the bull, and you start working that and start developing yourself in your awareness. And just play with that, just challenge me on that. Say, you know what, bull, I'm going to stop thinking and I'm going to stop wanting anything for a week. Same thing as if you stop all cooked foods and meat for 1 week, and then you go have one. I remember the girl at Home Depot yesterday, and she had fractured her lower back, and she lifting her kid out of the car and everything, and all the pain and everything, and been to all these specialists and everything. And I said, it wouldn't happen to be L4 and L5, would it? She said, well, how'd you know it's L3, 4, 5? I said, yeah, kidneys, and you're young, and this is problematic. You just had a baby. She's overweight, so a kidney and adrenals, parathyroid would make her fracturable very easy. So this is all, and she had no clue. I mean, and they know I'm in raw, and I said, just try one. She said, I know. I said, no. I said, you're in extreme pain. 1 week of just raw foods, 1 week. Have some steamed foods at night, just 1 week, fruits and vegetables, and then go have you a meat meal. She loves meat. I said, just go have a meat meal. Remember, meat pulls calcium out of the body. So just go have a meat meal and see how you feel. That's all you have to tell people. People in pain, all they have to do is go to the raw foods. If fruits are too aggressive for you in pain, all right, go to the vegetables and steam vegetables for a while till you get a head up on that. Especially use the herbs to help pull more aggressively, and you can play with that, And she'll never do it, and she'll suffer and suffer and suffer, and then they'll end up fusing the spine and blah, 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 blah. She'll never catch her kidneys or adrenals, and it just keeps on going. Because people just want to have that meat. They're willing to put up with all that. It's amazing to me. Just take off for a while and then put yourself back on it if you want, So, Mark, and this is an important question for all of you YouTubers and Facebook people out there, is that our field is about health. And interestingly, though, when you get your body healthy, there is no cancer left in it. There is no diseases in it anymore. Oh, and it's a better focus because it's a positive focus. When you're trying to battle, no one wins when you try to treat or battle a disease. You notice that? Nobody wins. Because you can't win. You're not focusing on the reality of it. You're treating it like it's something that's outside of yourself that you have no control over. And so in goes the suppressive drugs of antibiotics and inhalers, and it's on and on and on. I mean, this is time where the Jack in the Box has to pop up and say, you got it all wrong, everybody. Start getting yourselves right. Because have you noticed, and I'm real serious, You've got to get a hold of your minds and your emotions and stay balanced. See just what happened to these little babies? For any soul to go in and terminate 20 young little children at 6 years old, That just shows you how the mind is out of balance. Well, if spiritual souls like all of you, and we all don't come in, there's a lot of masters out there. I've told you this before. There's a lot of masters brought to this level right now because of this negative out of balance. It's out of balance. And that's why the planets are lining up. Everything's lining up to deal with this out of balanceness. And you'll see. So just try not to hold on to your balance no matter what you see coming, okay? And realize who you really are. And that bodies are insignificant in the allness of things. So I hope that's helpful, but really work on your ability to articulate. Go and put on lectures in the community. You know, bite the bullet. I did. I was shaking. I was vomiting, all kinds of things. But I went and I would go to a town. I would go get me a free room, like at the library or something, or a bank always has these free rooms. And especially if you're not trying to make any money, and you can get these free rooms and then go out and have posters made, you know, put a nice title to it, free from all pain. Free from pain isn't a disease, so they can't take that away. You know, so try to use it the best way you can articulate that article to show people. And that's the game, is you have to work this. How do I show people the truth without touching on diseases and that side of it? So you work with that. You guys are the smart ones out there. And then you maybe put a little, go down to the newspaper, say, I'm giving a free talk. Would you have any room to put it in your paper for free? And they always have meeting minders and everything else. And then just set you up a date, get that room, come back and give a nice talk to those people that show up. And learn how to do that. And just start with one. I've done thousands of those. Thousands. And I tell you, they at first, I'm just a very quiet, don't leave me alone, I'm in the woods kind of guy, so you can imagine the fear I had, but I was driven to do it. And so it just takes that to develop that. And you just go and have fun doing it, and just don't worry about what they think. You're out there giving a message that's coming from you. You're the one bringing in the consciousness. And if someone tries to trip you up, just relax. Don't try to get tripped up. It's simple. All you know is how to detoxify and clean out the human body of all the acids and the waste, which is breaking down the cells and causing inflammation. And as you learn on this, you get that down and you'll be good. You'll be good. I have a few health, this is Marina. I have a few health challenges. I like that already. I have a few health challenges. Good, good, good for you. Weak immune system. Okay, so a weak immune system. Let's talk about that, because this is a big deal, because a lot of people don't understand when talking about immune system what they're talking about. When we say we have a weak immune system, basically you're talking about your lymphatic system, you're talking about your weak kidneys and adrenals. If you're truly dealing in like anemias and stuff like that, you've got three places to go. You've got bone marrow, which is your big deal. That's your platelets and your red blood cells. You have your spleen, which refurbishes red blood cells, also cleans the blood and things like that into the lymph. So the spleen is a vital organ for the blood and cleaning, but it's also a lymphatic organ. And then you have your liver. And you clean those areas out and build them up. If you're running low white blood cells, that's an immune problem for sure. And that is definitely could be bone marrow. Basically, you clean your lymph system and you won't have any immune problems, because it's not the immunity that's the problem. It appears that way in a lymph system that is stagnant. It appears that we can't our system isn't getting it. Well, the reason our system isn't getting it is we're obstructed in our kidneys and our adrenal glands. We don't have the nerve power anymore. Our bowels are a holy mess. Our kidneys aren't filtering, and we call that immune problems, because that's what it is. If you look at how medical doctors call cancer an autoimmune disease, they call diabetes an matter of fact, almost everything to a medical doctor is an autoimmune problem. And nothing could be further from the truth. These are all lymphatic problems. And if you understand that, then that's what you have to look at. And if you have an immune/lymphatic problem, go to the kidneys and adrenals and then move that system as we talk. HSV, structural issues, mostly brought on by surgical interference. hysterectomy, to be quite truthful. Now, in hysterectomies or any surgery, you know that if you don't get in there and clean the lymph, that you're going to get scar tissue and adhesions from these surgeries. It's just common. They develop in a weak body. Weak bodies mean that the cells are weak and they're going to build extra cells to support that. It's kind of like if there's a weak structure we're holding up here, say a bunch of us, we're building a barn and we're a bunch of Amish people and we're holding up a big wall. Hey, we're going to bring our buddies over to help hold this wall until we nail it all in place, bring a side wall to hold it up or put our braces on. We're going to have help. And that's what I'm talking about. And that help comes in the form of extra cells, kind of like a bone fracture. You'll see the more bone built up around that fracture because the body's wise. If I've hurt, I don't want that to happen there anymore. I'm going to extra strengthen that area. And then when the coast is clear, I can chew those cells back up and we'll be good. And that's just what it's all about. You can break down scar tissue. It happens all the time. You can break down adhesions and extra bone that's built up, but you really got to be in an alkaline state to do it, because in an acid state, the body's supporting and in a defense mechanism. We're bringing in the offensive team. That's the problem. We're coming in and we're saying, okay. And that's how we really have to be with our societies now. Even though most spiritual people don't want any part of anything, they just want to live their peaceful lives. Not going to happen anymore, guys. I'll be honest with you. That sort of thing is in the past. We're going to have to be strong and emanate our love and our joy, but our strength of knowingness and commitment to the truth. Because there are societies here on this planet, we're all out of balance with truth. Very few people understand any aspect of truth, and it's the negative forces caving in, and you see all these fighters and everybody trying to get their freedoms back, their truths, their joys back, and they're being massacred because of it. It's an interesting war that's going on this planet. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
But there is an issue that you need to address before your 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Pretty important.
Important issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's about 9:45-ish.
Okay, I'll cut this off in about 5 minutes. Am I good there? 10 minutes? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll cut it off then.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, S. Brink 1. Found the comment about dogs and protein very interesting. What is the appropriate diet for dogs? I know, I find that interesting myself. Again, they're more omnivores, but I can tell you that I've watched this in Too Much Meat. My golden retriever always ate grass to balance that out. And I didn't realize that these were natural, hormone, antibiotic-free chicken snacks that most dogs are just loving, but got major rectal bleeding from it and everything else. And I saw it on the news where it killed a dog. And it's we were using the Milo. There's another one, something Train out there, and real serious inflammation through the gut. Colitis, enteritis, gastritis, scary stuff. And so it just shows you, though, too much protein. And if you look around, you just don't see animals. You might see in the jungle some maybe the hyenas or something, but they're a pretty nasty species. But if you look at even cats, they go to the gut. There has to be some balance in chemistry, even for the carnivores. I don't know. Something's come up. I got to go check it out. So I love you all. And I hope you have a great day. This is not a long video, and maybe I kind of talk too much, but I love you all, and you have a beautiful day. And if you're suffering, hang in there, and let's get yourselves back to a state of health and happiness too. Whatever it takes, you got to be happy. And for all you guys out there that are kicking and working hard to get man aware, you're loved by so many. Thank you so much. Bye bye.